Hey guys, so I have had a lot of people ask me lately about my foundation routine, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to show you guys how I do my foundation and a couple of things that I do to take care of my skin as well. So in all of my Get Ready With Me videos I don't show this, but before I start doing my makeup at all, I wash my face, use a toner, and then use some kind of moisturizer. And the face wash that I use is the Badescu Acne facial cleanser because I am prone to breakouts. And then I use the cucumber lotion as a toner. It says lotion, but it's really a toner, so I'm not really sure why it says lotion, but anyway, I really feel like this removes all the excess oil from my skin. Even after I wash my face, I'll use this and I'll still see some dirt and oil and makeup come off. So this stuff is great. And then I use a moisturizer. I usually use CeraVe or CeraVe, I don't really know how you say it, but it's just a gentle moisturizer that will keep all of the moisture locked into your skin. Even if you have oily skin, you still need to use a moisturizer. Alright, so like I said, before I do any of my makeup, I always make sure to wash, tone, and then moisturize. So I've done that, and then I've done my eye makeup already. So the makeup that I use currently is actually from the drugstore. I use L'Oreal True Match. I feel like it blends really easily, and I love the finish it gives. It's a medium coverage. I used to use a full coverage foundation because I had a lot more redness on my cheeks, but that has gone down a lot, so I'm using a medium coverage foundation now. So I am colored W3 in the L'Oreal True Match. I don't use a primer just because I don't have large pores and I don't have excessive oil on my skin. If you have large pores, I'd recommend using the Benefit Porefessional. That'll help kind of smooth over your pores and give your skin more of a smooth look. And then you just apply your foundation over that. So if you're going to use a primer, do that now. So I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match and shake it really well. And then I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. You're going to want to make sure that your hands are clean when you do this because you don't want to be adding anything gross onto your face. And I added way too much, so I'm trying to get it back into the container. Alright, so I have like this much on my hand, and it does look really pink, so I'm going to try to see if I can find a shade that's more yellow that'll match me better, but until now, this is the closest shade I've got. So I'm going to use a Beauty Blender. A Beauty Blender is meant to be used damp. It goes from this size, actually quite a bit smaller, this isn't completely dry. It goes from this size to this size when you wet it under a faucet, and then you squeeze out all of the excess moisture, and then you can use it to blend out your foundation and your under eye concealer. So I'm going to dab it on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to start pressing it into my skin. And just go in patting motions all over. You're going to want to kind of avoid the under eye area because foundation will tend to crease on your under eye. That's what concealer is for, and we will use concealer after I get the majority of the foundation on. I'm just going to keep blending. You're going to also want to make sure you go down your neck because you don't want that harsh line. Now some people prefer to do their eye makeup after their foundation, but I can get really messy with my eye makeup, so I like to do it before, and that way if I get any dark pigmentation under my eyes, I can wipe it off before I do my foundation. So I have a pretty good layer on. You do want to make sure it's blended out so you really can't, I wonder if I can focus this. You do want to make sure it's blended out so you really can't see where the foundation is. You still want it to look like your skin. You don't want it to look like you caked on a layer of makeup. So if you do need to add another layer, wait for this one to dry, and then do another light layer of foundation. You can always build up, but once you put foundation on your skin, it's really hard to take it off. You almost have to start all over. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit more in spots that I need it, like on my cheeks. I have some breakouts. Okay, I'm just taking a tiny bit more and going over these areas. So now I have all of my foundation done and we're going to go in with concealer. So I am using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I've kind of used a lot of it, but we're going to use MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW20, and I actually should be using a slightly darker shade because I'm tanner than I used to be, but that's okay. You'll see a lot of YouTube gurus using shades that are like 2 to 3 shades lighter than their skin tone, and I don't recommend that. If you are going to use something lighter, do something barely lighter than your skin. So I put concealer on my chin, bridge of my nose, up on my forehead, under my eyes, and then on my Cupid's bow. So I'm going to blend all this out and make sure that I am covering my under eye circles. And the Pro Longwear Concealer is great because it doesn't crease, but I also find that if you don't set it properly, it will make your mascara move all over the place. I don't know if this only happens to me, but I find that when I use this concealer and then apply mascara, I end up with little black dots under my eyes. So you want to make sure to set this really well, which is what I'll be doing next. Okay, now my skin looks like way lighter than the rest of my body right now just because I have super bright lights shining on my face, but in person it is the same color. I do need to do something slightly more yellow toned because the rest of my body is pretty olive. Alright, and I didn't even use a full pump of the Pro Longwear Concealer and I still have a lot of it left. So don't use a full pump, try to use half a pump or just like as little as possible because you will end up wasting this concealer like crazy because it comes out in big pumps and you only need a little bit. Okay, now that I have everything blended out, I'm going to set everything with a powder. You want to make sure that you set your makeup, especially in the summer, because the heat will cause, and the humidity will cause you to get oily and you'll break through your foundation pretty quickly. If you have a powder, it'll help absorb some of that oil and you won't end up getting as oily because you have the powder to set it. And it's also good for your under eye concealer and anything that may crease. Okay, so I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. This is from Bdellium Tools. It is the number 975. And then I'm going to use my Studio Fix powder in the color NC20. And I depotted it so I could put it in a palette, but it's the same thing. I'm going to make sure I get enough powder under my eyes. You don't want too much or you can end up with really cakey under eyes, which will make you look older and it will accentuate wrinkles under your eyes and it's just not cute. So balance is key. I'm focusing mostly on my T-zone because that is where I get most oily. And then I'm just adding a little bit over my cheeks as a base for my blush. Alright, now for blush, I'm going to use NYX PB25. It is the shade Pinched. Looks like this. I like it because it gives a nice rosy flush to the cheeks without looking way too over the top. You do have to be careful because it's really pigmented, so you can accidentally build it up way too fast. So just be aware of that. Alright, as you can see I have a lot more dimension on this side of my face than this side. This side looks completely flat, and then this side has a little bit more color going on. So I'm just going to repeat on the other side. Alright, now to help soften that blush, I'm going to go back over it with my powder brush. This will help blend everything out and make it look much more natural. Alright, I'm going to use my same blush brush. I'm just going to wipe it off on a towel. I've got a towel on my lap. Just wipe it off on a towel to make sure you get some of that extra pink pigment out of it. And then I'm going to use the Chocolate Soleil Bronzer from Too Faced, which smells like chocolate. And I'm going to just buff it in the hollows of my cheeks and then coming up a little bit. Oh my god, I can like taste the chocolate powder. Temples, kind of like in the shape of a 3. And that's going to help also to add a little bit of dimension and color to your face. And I don't like to go really dramatic on any of this because I still want it to look like skin and I still want it to look like me. And then you just dust a little bit of bronzer on the high points of your face, which is where the sun would naturally hit. Alright, now I'm going to take a little bit of highlighter. This is the Hard Candy Baked Bronzer in the shade Tiki. You can get this at Walmart. And I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight on the top of my cheekbones. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows and finish my under eye area and put some gloss on, and I will show you guys what it looks like at the end. Alright, so I finished up my under eye, my brows, and then I put some lip stuff on so that my lips aren't so bare. The only thing I like to do at the end is use a setting spray. Urban Decay makes some awesome setting sprays. This is their Deslick Setting Spray. I'm feeling super like sweaty and oily because my apartment is really hot right now, so I'm going to use this one. I usually use the Chill Makeup Setting Spray in the winter because my skin gets really dry, and then I'll use the All Nighter when I really want my makeup to last all night, and I'll also use it on clients if it's for a special occasion and I want it to last a really long time. So the All Nighter is great. They're all made by Skindinavia, which is an amazing company that does a ton of awesome setting sprays, so check them out too. But Urban Decay carries through Skindinavia and they make some really great ones. So I'm just going to pull my hair back, shake the setting spray, and then I could not feel it coming out. And then you're going to want to do like an X shape. And that will help set your makeup and keep the oil from breaking through if you use this one, or the all-nighter will just keep it lasting all night long. So that is my foundation routine. I hope that it helped you guys out. Please comment below. I love reading your comments. And then like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you have not already. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.